welcome back to the B-List.
Hey, you guys. Welcome back.
It's good to see everybody again. We have taken a little bit of time off. I had to take care of a family member who had surgery, so this is our first recording back in a few months.
We're back, you guys.
So,
cross your fingers, nothing else happens.
Nothing else happens. Now, in the meantime, we did record another episode, but we're having a little trouble with copyright issues on that one. So, you may or may not see it. It made a brief appearance if you did, but anyway, let's just hope this one sticks. Because today, we're talking about Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. And this one is a special one. I think it's technically 6 in the series. And I will say that it is better than Halloween 3, which I know that some of you guys want to fight us for. But
it's a hot topic.
It's a hot topic. And, you know, well, we all have our opinions.
Everyone will have your opinions, and you can come for me if you want to, but, like, Halloween was not really my series, but we're going to do it.
We're gonna do this anyway. And if this one is so special to us because this one stars our beloved national treasure, Paul Rudd.
America's sweetheart.
I love him.
He who never ages.
Right. I love him so much. But this was his first movie, which is weird because he was in Clueless the same year.
Right before he did Clueless.
Yeah. And Clueless, I loved him in. That's where I fell in love with him. And so, yeah.
And he still looks exactly the same.
And he looks exactly the same now that he did.
It's like his haircut changes some, but that porcelain skin never changes.
Right.
This is what happens, like Steve Carell, when you're just unproblematic in Hollywood.
Yes.
Like, you age well.
Yes.
It's like a gift from the gods.
And he's really the most important actor in this movie, in all honesty.
Sorry to the rest of you. I'm sure you're fine.
Sorry to the rest of you. Anyway, this one was released in 1995, like I said, the same year as Clueless, directed by Joe Chappelle, who was also known for Phantoms, Takedown, and The Skulls 2, but also did a lot of TV. Like,
everyone's got to get paid.
Right. But he did like several episodes of CSI Miami, Fringe, and Chicago Fire. So it's like a far turn from the Halloween series. But you know, the writers, of course, Deborah Hill and John Carpenter, the originals, and this time they added on Daniel Farrens, I think is his last name. And it had a budget of about $5 million, but it made its money back in making $15 million domestically. So it did pretty well. I
don't think it was worth that.
But I don't think it was worth that by any means. No.
We'll get into it.
And so instead of going through the entire actor list on this thing, I just wanted to go across some backstory. Like I said, this is the 6th one in the installment, the 6th installment. So in Halloween 4, you have to remember some things. This was Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And this is the one that Jamie Lee Curtis did not want to come back as Laurie. So there was a backstory that was created that she was killed off screen in a car accident. And we pick up with her daughter, Jamie, who's living with a foster family. And then Jamie becomes like the focus of Michael Myers' bloodlust or whatever. And
because he likes to keep it in the family.
He likes to keep it in the fam. And some stuff happens. You know, I'm not going to go through all that. But at the end of the movie, she basically becomes possessed by his spirit. And she like attacks her foster family. And she ends up in a clown costume. And the end. So now she's possessed by Michael Myers.
Now here we are.
And so, then we go into Halloween 5, which you got to know this one too. We pick up in Halloween 5. It's a year after that, and Jamie's been institutionalized. Her foster family survived.
I wonder if it's the same institution because, like your brother just said a minute ago, like these institutions did not serve these people. They failed these people.
So
this whole series is about how America has failed people in the medical field.
Right.
It's a medical failure.
Yeah. So Jamie has been institutionalized, and she's Michael Myers has been in a coma for a year.
But when you die every year, it's exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting. You got to take some time off for yourself. And now he's awake, and now he and Jamie have a telepathic link. And this is Halloween 5. The Revenge of Michael Myers. And then stuff happens in the movie. And then she's eventually used as bait by Dr. Loomis, who treated Michael when he was a kid.
Maybe get him a new doctor.
Right,
Why do
right.
we keep letting this guy...
Right. So he uses Jamie as bait. They lure him to the house. Loomis shoots him full of tranquilizer, darts or something, beats him unconscious. And then Michael Myers is he's taken to the local jail to wait transport to a maximum security facility. But this mysterious man in black shows up and attacks the station, kills a bunch of cops, and then frees Michael Myers. And that's the end. Okay. So now we're brought up to The Curse of Michael Myers, in which Paul Rudd leads a stellar cast and film.
Sarcasm?
And here we go. We start off with a young pregnant girl giving birth among a shrouded cult. And they take the baby away and do some classic cult stuff. There's knives and blood.
Writing on the baby in blood.
Yeah,
which
candles.
Apparently this blood never washes off.
It doesn't wash
It's raining
off.
later, and this blood does not come off the
blood
baby.
and they're wearing
She's got her
their hoods.
handcuffs above her head while she's pushing, which is not the best way to give birth.
No,
I've given
it's
birth
not.
twice, never once with my hands cuffed above my head.
No, maybe we should try it. I don't know. We cut back to after they do this little ritual, we cut back to Mom, and she's exhausted. But a nurse comes in.
Brings the baby into her.
And is like, you need to escape. And she
Yeah.
helps her escape through what I assume is Freddy Krueger's boiler room. Because it's just pipes and fog again.
That's what I was thinking, is like red pipes and fog. Where are we?
Yeah, we're back with Freddy Krueger. He's out though.
He's like, you know what? You can Airbnb my house. I'm going on vacation.
If you need an escape route, you can always use my place.
Yeah.
And so she escapes with the baby. The nurse goes back into the facility and of course is ambushed by our friend Michael Myers, who impales her head on one singular spike.
He's very particular about what he's doing.
Very particular.
Very concise.
It's super convenient. This one spike is sticking out of this
So
empty
why
hallway.
is this one spike just sticking out of
It's
the hallway?
just there. I mean, I guess
Is
it's
it a
there.
speed bump so you don't run down the hallway?
I get take out an eye while you're trying to get to work. Anyway, so yeah, you get your first kill around the 5-minute mark or so.
I said they're running down the hallway and it's wet.
And it's wet. Yeah.
Yeah, he chokes her and then he stabs her in one spike. And then Jamie and the baby make it up this spiral, running up a staircase with a baby.
Well, we don't know that it's Jamie yet, but there you go. It's Jamie. This young girl.
Sorry, it's Jamie.
Yeah, it's Jamie who just had the baby. Anyway, she gets out of the facility. It's rainy. It's foggy. Mikey is behind her, and he's slow.
He's
and
taking his time.
Taking his
One thing
time.
we know about Michael Myers, he's not going to run for anybody.
He's not going to run for anybody. Nope.
He has mental health issues, but he's going to walk.
He's going to walk. Well, a walk can fix a lot of things.
Take a walk on it.
Yep. And so she finds a truck that's running, and she hops in. And the guy, I guess, who owns the truck,
He's like
is
drinking a beer. Just
He's like standing outside of his truck
in the rain.
drinking a beer in the rain. And so she's trying to
He's
warn
like,
him.
hey,
that
don't steal my truck. But she doesn't bother to roll the window down and tell him anything. She's just like,
he's coming, move. And so,
but also fuck you, because I'm already in the truck.
I'm
so
in the truck.
bye.
See ya. And so Mikey gets him too. And so the second kill is at 6 minutes and
Twists
30
his
seconds.
head clean off his body.
Oh yeah, just twists his head off.
like it's a Coke top, just bloop, just like.
And she hightails it out in the truck, narrowly escaping
And I'm
him.
like, where's the baby? The floorboard? Like, baby's just wobbling around.
I think that she puts it in the seat next to her. But so we cut to Michael Myers' the Myers old home.
the Strode house.
The Strode house, and it's now occupied by Laurie, Jamie Lee Curtis's character. It's her adoptive family's relatives. I think it's her adoptive
cousins
dad's
and whatever.
Yeah, I
brother
think
or
it's her
something.
adoptive
Uncle
dad's
and-
brother.
Yeah.
is what they mentioned
Uncle
later.
and aunt, I think is what it is.
Uncle and aunt. Anyway, their adult children are living with them, Kara and Tim. Kara's little boy, Danny.
And he's like crying, and he says, "The voice man's here," but there's nobody there. He
Yeah.
can see someone kind of in the darkness.
He sees this man in black again. So, okay. And the man in black is telling him to do bad things, as men in black often do. And so she tucks him
And
in.
then they use that little boop to make you forget.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Men in Black.
Exactly.
Will Smith is there in the corner, just boop.
Yeah, I'd be scared to death if I saw Tommy Lee Jones showing up in my house.
Tommy Lee Jones
telling me to do bad things.
with his little clicker pen.
So she's telling her little boy go to sleep, and then she goes into her room and she just gets down to her skivvies.
Because of course she does.
Because of course, when you're living in the Myers old home, that's what you should do. Is
When
get
you're
in, your
in a
underwear.
horror movie and you're an attractive young woman, you're gonna get naked in the movie.
Stay clothed.
Keep your clothes on.
Yeah. And so she's listening, she's walking around in her undies and listening to this radio show that's talking about like the Myers murders and she sees the neighbor across the street, which we see as Paul Rudd.
And I'm like, oh my God, is Paul Rudd a creeper? Why
And
is
so,
he
he's
staring
watching her
in
with like a telescopic lens on a camera. And
He's just watching her undressed. Also, maybe close your curtains, but also we're
Yeah.
not here to shame women.
right. But he's just watching this house.
All right.
And so you find out that he is Tommy Doyle. Now,
And he's on his computer and he's talking about Michael in a super creepy voice.
yeah.
Michael's coming back.
Yeah, he's really obsessed with Michael Myers now, and he's become like this recluse loner. And he calls into this radio station that Kara's
Everyone's
listening to across
There's
the street.
one radio station in town.
There's
and
only
this is
one
it.
radio station. Everybody's listening to it, and he's telling them that he saw Mikey when he was 8 years old, and Mikey's still alive. Michael Myers. I keep referring to him as Mikey because, anyway, it's just easier. Mikey is still alive, and his work isn't done, and he's going to return soon.
He'll come home soon and he'll kill again.
Yeah, and this
And I'll
time
be ready.
he'll be ready. So then we cut now to a now retired Dr. Loomis.
Yes.
And Dr. Loomis, as I mentioned before, it was who treated Michael Myers as a child.
I have a feeling it was a forced retirement.
It might have
They're
been.
like, why don't you hang up your hat, sir?
You haven't been.
You've been treating this guy for like 20 years and
Yeah,
nothing's changed.
yeah.
So.
And guess what? He's also listening to this radio show
Because of course he is.
because of the one station. But then he gets a visit from his old pal, Dr. Wynn, who used to be the administrator.
To this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, he was the administrator at Smith's Grove Sanatorium or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he just shows up out of nowhere and is like wanting him to come back to the facility to work. Cut back to the girl. Who we now know as Jamie is still running, and she stops at like a bus stop.
And this
Or a
is
bus
the
station?
and it's empty as hell. Like,
There's nothing there.
Is the
Nobody-
bus stop closed? Do they close? I
But-
thought they were open just all
All the time. Yeah, that's what I would think too. But calls
She
the
goes
police.
in the phone booth and dials 911, and they tell her it's kind of busy.
It's kind of busy. She can't get through.
Like, okay, it's 911.
But,
Like,
yeah.
shouldn't you be open all the time?
Shouldn't you be?
Shouldn't you be fully staffed and
Right.
especially in a town where murder's going to happen on Halloween? Shouldn't you already
Exactly.
be like preparing for this?
Right. But luckily, that radio station is on at the bus station too.
And she's like, "I'll call the radio station."
So she calls the radio station.
How does she know the number to the radio station?
I think that they're like, hey, if you have any comments, call this number.
She remembered the number. How does she?
And she just dials it in and then calls.
You could tell me a number right now. In 10 minutes, I will forget what that number is.
I know. I'm the same way.
Anyways,
So she calls the radio program and she's like, he's after me. Michael's after me. If Dr. Loomis,
help me.
help me. If you're listening to this, which luckily he is, if
Yeah.
you're listening to this, please help me. And then, of course she hangs up because here comes Michael. So she takes the baby into
Like the bathroom.
the bathroom, which is weirdly downstairs.
Yeah, it's in like a downstairs area. And
Yeah.
cleans them up, and
Yeah, the
I
lights
will
go
say
off.
this is the cleanest newborn I've ever seen. She just
Right.
gave birth to this baby.
And it's huge too. It
He's
looks like
plump.
an 8-month-old baby.
He's plump. He's healthy. He is not covered in goo or excrement.
No. They cleaned him up before they gave him back to her. So she's in this bathroom. The lights go off, and here comes Michael Myers, and she goes and hides in a bathroom stall. But I guess she slips out of a window at the last moment.
With the baby.
and
How are you?
I guess
We think at the time
we
she's
think
with the
at
baby.
the time that she
I'm
has
thinking,
the
how
baby,
the hell did she get that baby out of there? But
Right.
anyways, like, so he's like, oh, she left, and
she takes off in the truck.
I again say, where's the baby? And the floorboard just rolling around,
Just
like,
rolling
what's
around.
happening?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she's swerving around, and for sure this
Somehow-
baby's got frontal lobe damage because she's just like,
Right,
drumming like a crazy
shaken
person.
baby syndrome. Somehow, in like less than 30 seconds, he has obtained a van
Yeah.
and is hot on her tail.
And knows how to drive. He's
Knows
been
how to drive.
institutionalized since he was like 8. But
kid, yeah, baby.
maybe
But
they do a driver's ed program in the sanatorium.
maybe. But he runs her off the road, and she crashes into a bunch of pumpkins.
Like a bunch of pumpkins outside this barn.
and she hides in the barn.
Where's the baby? No clue.
Where's the baby? No clue. But Mikey finds her, and of course
He's choking her and throws her on this like
I guess it's a pitchfork.
thing.
Yeah. And with her dying breath, she says, "You can't have the baby, Michael."
And he like
so-
she's reaching for him and he's reaching for her and then he turns on some
Yeah.
button
Button that just
The
makes
pitch-
everything worse.
pitchfork button.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what it is.
Right. I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know what the term is. I don't know if you guys know this. I was not raised on a farm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a city hick.
So, so that's a wrap on Jamie. Poor Jamie.
Yep,
who-
and he goes back to the truck, and the baby's not there.
The baby's
it's
not
like a roll
there.
of paper towels, and
Yeah.
he's pissed.
and he's mad because she hid the baby.
We can't see his
somewhere.
face because mask, but we assume he is not happy.
Right. So we cut back to his house.
Yep.
And John, I guess it's her adoptive uncle.
Who I call asshole dad because this guy,
Yeah.
from the minute he steps onto the screen, is just the biggest tool on
Yeah.
the planet.
Yeah.
He like chops down the Michael Myers sign in his yard and he's yelling at the neighborhood kids who kind of like pranked him and set it up. He's pissed. But when you live in a murder house,
Yeah.
people are going to prank your house.
Right. And, apparently you find out that he never told his family that the murders ever happened.
Which
in-
wouldn't they know at like the family reunions that like this happened?
You
or
would
did they just
think.
never speak to any of the family?
I don't
ever
think that they
again?
talk much.
Anyways,
So,
mom and dad and the family, they're all in the kitchen.
they go have breakfast, and
He's saying kids are ruining this country.
yeah, John is real butthurt that his daughter Kara has been away for like the last 5 years
And came home with a child.
and came home with a child, and
And she's studying for a test, and the grandma is telling her not to study so hard, and the dad's just being a douchebag, and he's like calling her child a bastard.
Yeah, being a real jerk, saying that she's spending all his money, and yeah, calls Danny a bastard,
And she says, I see one bastard in this house, and he slaps her
he
in the
slaps her.
face.
Yeah, but that causes
Joke's on
Danny-
you, asshole, because Danny,
He holds up a knife to John and is like threatening John, the little boy.
and I say, good on you, kid.
and I'm like, yeah,
Good for you.
He kind of deserves this, and so I guess they leave.
Yeah,
Or-
no one that's like, oh, okay.
That's where
anyway,
that's where it ends. So Kara and her brother Tim and Tim's girlfriend Beth with Danny, the little boy,
They're all
they're
outside.
leaving, and they're talking about a Halloween fair that they
the
were
festivities
organizing.
that they're organizing.
Yeah, they don't really touch on it a whole lot. And so then we cut back to the two doctors, Dr. Wynn and Dr. Loomis, and they're at the hospital trying to get records of Michael Myers.
Right.
And the secretary says, "Michael Myers, I just got a call that Jamie Lloyd, his niece, her body was just found."
Yeah.
And that's when it's revealed that Jamie
That was Jamie
his
the whole
niece.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time. And so we cut back to Kara asking Beth if she knows anything about Paul Rudd's character, Tommy. And he's watching them from across the street.
And she's
again.
like, something horrible happened to him as a kid, but he's harmless.
Yeah. He tells her he's weird, but
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
weird.
whatever.
He's staring at me in the window when I'm trying to change my skivvies. Like,
yeah.
that's
He's
not
like
cool.
He's of course close your goddamn curtains. All right, just.
Close your curtains. Also, if Paul Rudd wanted to peek on me, I'd probably be fine. It's Paul Rudd.
I know it's Paul Rudd.
He has pretty privilege
He's got pretty privilege.
for sure.
And so we cut to him listening to the recording again of Jamie who called in.
Because he had like this whole setup of
And,
like
yeah.
recorders and shit on his wall.
He's got this like stereotypical like
whiteboard with like the little the board with the
yeah
things and all the papers
newspaper
and,
clippings
yeah.
and everything. And so I guess he decides that he's going to go to the bus station to find out if there was a bus that came in
from Pontiac.
from Pontiac, which she didn't come in on a bus anyway. So why would he even know to go to the bus station?
I guess he knew
But-
that she
had to come in from somewhere.
she's got to be from town. She got to be in town.
And the
She
last
called
thing
radio
that we had
station.
heard is that she was institutionalized, and so
maybe the institution's in Pontiac.
or I don't know. I don't know how he knew to go to the bus station, but he goes
He
there.
just knows things.
And you knew that this movie happened before we had the internet, because it would have saved him a trip just to look it up. Oh yeah, there was a bus that came in last night. But
Yeah.
But anyway, so he goes all the way down there, and then while he's there, he sees
He
like a
sits in the
trail.
phone booth.
Yeah,
The same phone booth
same
that she
phone
was
booth.
in, and there's like a blood trail, and that apparently no one has noticed or cleaned up
yeah.
because it's still he follows
still-
it all
he
the way
follows
down
it
the
into the
stairs
bathroom.
into the bathroom, into the stall.
And he finds the baby.
Yeah, he hears the baby crying, which is like under a sink somewhere in like a cabinet.
Yeah,
Which apparently also has been there that no one's noticed. People are just going in there, checking their makeup, going to the bathroom, and
then leaving.
No one's hearing
Yeah.
this baby cry.
Seeing
Or has the
blood.
baby just been quiet for 12 hours?
maybe, but
He just picks it up and takes it.
he just picks it up and takes it. He never calls.
Don't take it to the doctor. Don't call the police.
Don't call the police. Don't call anybody. Just take the thing.
Now,
okay.
now it's a different movie. Paul Rudd is a dad.
Paul Rudd, Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom, starring
And
Paul Rudd.
so now, meanwhile, the doctors stop by the crime scene where they had found.
Yeah, they're all at the
found
barn, and
Jamie's-
Loomis is there because of course he is.
Yeah, because Loomis went to go check.
and he's
him.
like, "It's his mark. He's come home."
He knows
and
that
that's when I
Mikey's
was like,
back.
"Oh, I probably should have watched the other movies because I didn't know that Michael Myers had a mark. I didn't know that that was something that he had,
yeah,
like his calling card."
yeah. Well, they don't introduce the mark, I don't think, till
No, it
now,
would
do
help to
they?
have like a couple of like previews, like some
Yeah.
flashbacks of some kind.
Anything, yeah. So anyway, now we're back at, I guess, the college where Kara and Tim are attending, and they find a picture that Danny drew of his family.
It's like creepy
With like knives sticking out of them and
Yeah.
stuff. And so then we cut back to Tommy.
Well, then we cut to like, and then Kara, like the girlfriend, what's her name, Beth, asks her. They're like her and her boyfriend, like, what's his name,
Tim.
They're like walking away, and she's like, "You gonna be okay?" Just like you're not gonna wait for her to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be all right.
That's it. That's not very genuine.
It's really not.
And so now Tommy, who's got this baby, goes to the hospital with the baby and luckily runs into Dr. Loomis.
And he recognizes him.
And he's like,
"Hey, Loomis.
hey, guess what? We both know that Michael's back and I have Jamie's baby and the Strodes are living
Remember
in the
me
Myers.
from when Lori was babysitting me that night of Halloween?
Yeah,
And now
I'm all grown up now.
I'm all grown up, and here's this baby.
And here's this baby. And the Strodes are living in the Myers home.
And this is when I noted that like Paul Rudd's voice and his inflection was like so, like this is not the Paul Rudd we know. This is like
this is definitely his first
pre-acting
movie.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Where like this is not even Clueless Paul Rudd. This is like before Clueless Paul Rudd, where like he's just he's like very serious and talking a lot like this, and like what are you doing with your voice, man?
And then he tells Loomis, "Meet me at the college rally later.
Meet me at the rally tonight on campus." I wrote down specifically where, what time, when are we meeting?
Just meet me." Okay.
There's no real cell phones at that. I don't think Loomis has one of those like giant brick cell phones. So like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So
More information, please.
back at the Myers home, Mom, Deborah, finds an axe on the porch and packs it away like, how does this get here?
Silly kids leaving
Silly
axes.
kids leaving
But I think
axes.
that's the axe from the dad was chopping down the Michael Myers sign.
Oh, that
Yeah.
okay. And so she packs it away.
But also, you live in a house with a small child. Why are you leaving an axe on the porch?
Right.
Dipshit.
She packs it away, puts it in the basement where she discovers the washing machine is broken and it's like leaking. And so she takes out the wet laundry and brings it upstairs and she feels something's off in the house. And you think, is it going to be Michael Myers? No, it's just Dr. Loomis creeping around without knocking or anything.
He's
just
in
the house.
her house.
And he's just creeping around and scares her and
Yes.
everything.
And just
so-
starts a conversation. Like, sir,
Yeah.
excuse me, how did you get the fuck in my house?
Yeah.
You didn't knock.
Yeah. And then it cuts over like to Tommy and he gets home with the baby and he goes, "I'm going to name you Steven."
Like, hey, Steven, you like that name?
You like that name? I don't ever think that they call the baby Steven again. That's just the
Never.
one. It's just the weirdest little filler scene, but okay. He cleans like the cult blood off of the baby and then promises to not let anything happen to him. And then so we cut back over to Dr. Loomis talking to Deborah.
He's explaining Michael
And
is
he's-
evil.
Yeah.
And like,
And he was
and the
a
mom's like,
victim.
what makes you think he'll come back here? And he's like, bitch, this is his house.
Yeah. Yeah, he's escaped many times. Just listen to
I said
me.
apparently Mrs. Strode hasn't seen the last 5 movies. She has no clue what's happening.
She's been busy being a mom.
She's been busy wringing out those sheets and hanging everything to dry.
Right, and so, but he tells her that Michael Myers is a victim of a curse that grew inside him, and now he's gonna come back, and she probably should leave. And
This is news to all of us,
This is
right? Like, it's
news.
not just me. The first Halloween movie, it was like, no, he had some kind of weird psychotic break as a child
Right.
and killed his family.
Right.
There was no talk of cults. There was no talk of like cursing and evil or any of that.
Well,
You'd
if you
figure in the
remember-
20 fucking years they would have figured this out by then.
I wonder if they weren't like trying to thinly connect like Halloween 3 into it, because they start getting into like druids casting spells on children.
and there's all those symbols.
and there's symbols and all that stuff. And if you remember, Halloween 3 had to do with Stonehenge for some reason. So
That's what's missing from this movie. There's no Stonehenge.
there's no Stonehenge. But anyway, so we also cut to like little Danny walking home from school, and he sees the man in
And he's
black.
carrying a fucking pumpkin.
He's just carrying around a pumpkin.
They just giving out pumpkins at school?
I guess so. He sees the man in black, but then suddenly, like, Tommy is like, "Hey, kid," and startles him, and then he's
Yeah,
like,
and he drops his
"Sorry."
pumpkin.
Drops his pumpkin. Tommy apologizes, and then we cut back to old Mikey Myers in the house, being his sneaky self, and
No,
Deborah.
wait, we got a fucking dipshit dad at work, and the wife is on the phone telling him everything.
yeah, that's what. Well, yeah, that's
Michael
right.
Myers, yes, is creeping in the background. We're constantly seeing him like behind in the shadows.
Right,
But the
right.
wife is immediately calling
She calls John and
to
she's
tell
like,
him,
"Hey,
and
Dr.
he's like,
Loomis was
"Oh
here."
my god," he's just being a dick to her, and is like, "You're crazy," and she's like, "Well, I'm taking the kids and I'm going away."
Yeah, I'm leaving.
And I tell you, ma'am, that is the correct decision. 'Cause
Yeah.
this guy is not okay.
Right, right.
Because he pulls out a bottle of alcoholic beverage from his cabinet and he just starts drinking on the
Starts
job.
drinking while he's at work.
Just drinking on the job. And she's like, "Did you know about this house?" And he's like, "Well, yeah. Why do you think we got such a good deal on it?"
Well, his brother owned the house, remember? Because
Yeah.
he's part of the Strode family.
And they couldn't sell
She's
it,
like, "Is that
so-
why your brother couldn't sell this house? Is
Yeah.
because it was the Myers home?" And so, and he starts drinking and everything. And so we got Mikey walking around being a
Just
sneaky
a
self.
little bit of like marriage advice from the B-List podcast. Tell your wife if you're going to be living in a murder house.
Like, if it were me, I'd be like, "Cool, you know.
Great,
I'll
we
give
got
it
a great
shot.
deal.
Got a great deal. I'll give it a shot.
We're gonna burn some sage and dust it up, and it'll be just fine.
Get a young priest and an old priest, cover
But
all
you
our bases.
gotta tell your partner.
But you do need, that is something that you
Communication.
should disclose.
Yeah.
However, so Mikey, of course, is sneaking around, and she runs away from him out into the yard among all the clean laundry that she had just hung up.
Well, you missed the part with the phone call where like she gets a phone call from a voice telling her, "We want the child."
Yeah, and I was like, "Who's we?" Because it's
Is it you, Michael
like
Myers?
I'm not
Can you
understanding
speak now?
Yeah, and so yeah,
He's
she
just
gets a
having
call.
someone give his calls for him. Like he's
Right,
busy.
right. He's got his assistant.
He's an important celebrity now, so he's
yeah,
just like,
yeah, and so
call
she gets
her. I know I'm standing right here in the same room, but like,
Yeah.
give her a call.
So she gets this call. We want the child. She runs. He's on her tails. And of course, he's got the damn axe that she had just packed away.
Yep.
And
He gives her the old choppity chop.
she gets the axe. So there's no more Deborah. No more mom.
That's a wrap on mom.
That's a wrap on mom.
And then Kara gets home
Yeah.
and she can't open the door because like it's locked and she
The chain
can't, like,
lock is still.
she can't get in. So she walks around back and there is no blood. Michael Myers should get a second job as a cleaner
Yeah.
because
There's like the laundry that's still out there is still clean.
white sheets,
White sheets.
everything looks clean and perfect. Like, sir, it's immaculate. So she goes into the house, everything looks normal and quiet, and she goes out calling for her mom and Danny. She goes upstairs to her mom's room where she sees Danny and Tommy and the new baby.
Yeah. Tommy came home with Danny.
He's like, "Well,
And
your
he's
mom
hanging
wasn't
out-
here, so like I just let myself in."
I just let myself in. And what, like, get out, okay?
But the door was locked.
Yeah. So did you snuck in the back like I did? Anyway.
Snuck in the back where Michael Myers has murdered my mother. Like,
Yeah. And I guess
I
they
don't-
didn't see anything either, so.
plot holes.
Plot holes. And then he's like, while he's sitting there, he's like, "Do you know whose room this used to be?" And of course, I guess it was Mikey's.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they go,
To Tommy's house.
they go across the street to Tommy's house, and where
And
Tommy
he
is-
tells her, "You can see everything from my window." Yeah, we know you, pervert.
"Yeah, we saw you."
Yeah, I saw you staring
You
at me
really can't. You've been using like a telescope to watch us, but okay.
through a tiny camera.
Through your little lens on the camera. But so they go across the street, and Tommy, I guess it's a boarding house that Mrs. Blankenship is running.
Well, and Danny sees Michael when they're up there in the room.
Yeah, they go
And
over.
no one's paying attention to him.
No one's paying attention.
He's like, Mom, and no, nothing.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
whatever.
and so whenever
That's when Tommy explains like the runes and the ancient computer.
Yeah,
and
he uses like this. He like brings up this like crappy Apple II program with a bunch of like symbols on
It's
it,
got a bunch of symbols on the screen,
like a bunch of runes and
runes. It talks about sacrifice and
he's talking about
the method behind Michael's madness.
Yeah, and these pagans used to inflict a curse on a chosen child from each clan called Thorn. Like a rose thorn. I had to look it up.
And
'cause I was
while
like, what is he
she's,
saying?
I made a note that like while she's looking at all this stuff on the computer, he is just like,
yeah, right.
just eye fucking her.
right. And so
Like,
anyway,
you haven't done enough, Tommy. You took
Right.
my kid. Now there's a baby here. What's happening?
I don't think that Tommy gets a whole lot of interaction with people.
I don't think he does.
Which is a shame because he's so good looking. But anyway, so he says that these blood sacrifices were performed on the next of kin.
So these people
on
are
the
after the
eve
baby
of
because-
Halloween. So, and it protects the clan, blah, blah, blah. And then Tommy thinks that Mikey is tied to these druid rituals. And that's why he's after Jamie's baby.
And then that's when they realize Danny is gone.
And then they're like, oh, wait, where did Danny go?
Wait, where's that goddamn kid we're supposed to be keeping a hold of? Where is he?
But don't worry, he's just downstairs with Mrs. Blankenship. And
They're just watching TV.
they're watching TV or whatever. So Tommy tells Kara and Danny to stay in his room and don't go home. He's got to go somewhere. And we cut back to the doctors. And apparently the autopsy has already been performed on Jamie.
Well, they did a swab and they can tell that she has
She had
like
given birth.
uterine blood or something.
Yeah, she had given birth right before her body was found. And Dr. Loomis is like, I know where the baby is.
Even though before, when Paul Rudd was standing there holding that baby,
Yeah.
Loomis didn't even look at the baby. He was just like, where the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like, weirdo,
All
get
right.
out of here.
All right. So he goes to meet Tommy at the fair or whatever.
What time? Where are they meeting? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Then we cut back to Mrs. Blankenship telling like Halloween stories to Danny and
She's
Kara's-
real creepy.
She's real creepy, and Danny and Kara.
I was like, this woman has not said a goddamn word this whole movie, and now she's just chatty Cathy, just
Yeah.
having a whole adult conversation with this child about like
Yeah.
boogeymen and
right, and
Halloween
like,
and
scaring
evil
them,
and-
spooking them, and everything.
Yeah.
and then she tells Kara, you know, Danny is hearing the same voices that Mikey Myers
just like
did
Mikey Myers did.
the night he murdered his sister. I was there.
Apparently, she was Michael Myers' babysitter when he was a kid.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
That's how we know Mrs. Blankenship.
That's how we know Mrs. Blankenship, and I totally forgot because, like I said, Halloween wasn't my series, and I
Yeah.
didn't memorize the lore. So, and then it says this voice told Mikey to kill his fam. So you got to watch Danny here.
Watch Danny because he also hears the man voice.
Yeah.
The man voice, whatever he calls it.
Yeah. So meanwhile, everybody's gone to the fair, I guess.
There's like some
And-
creepy guy that stands on the stage and he's wearing all black. So you're like, oh my gosh, who is this? But it's just like
it's like the radio DJ.
the radio DJ, and he's a streaker, and he's just like in his underwear. He takes his jacket
Yeah, he takes
off.
his jacket off and everything.
I don't like this guy, not at all.
Yeah, yeah. And in the meantime, John comes home drunk because he was drinking at
Fucking
work.
dad, drunk as a skunk,
And he
driving
calls-
home drunk.
Driving home drunk. Calls out for Deborah, and
He says thanks for dinner.
yeah, and he
I said because of course she's expected to have dinner on the table, even though she's been murdered.
even though she's been murdered, and he calls out for her, and he's like, "Oh, I guess she really left," or
Yeah, the lights go out, and I said, let's fucking go. I'm ready to see him die.
yeah. And so John gets his flashlight. He goes to the basement, and the washer is running and flooding everything because it's broken.
There's water all over the floor.
water, and even though the power's out, but the washer's still running.
Yeah,
I guess
he
it was
goes to
just
the-
the one breaker that went off.
I don't know.
So he
power's-
stops it.
Yeah, and he turns off the washer and opens it, and there's just bloody sheets.
Bloody sheets.
everywhere.
That's what happened to
How
the
did
bloody
he
sheets from us.
transport all that and not get blood anywhere.
I want to
telling
know
you.
what the neighbors thought when they saw him taking the bloody laundry down and was like with the basket.
all these nosy neighbors with everyone looking in everyone's house,
walking
like-
into the house with this. What's this guy with the Shatner mask doing?
And then Michael Myers is behind him, and he gets stabbed,
and electrocuted.
Double
whammy.
And I say not enough. I say
This guy was the worst anyway, so good riddance.
he was a very bad daddy. He
bad
deserved
daddy.
Bad daddy.
And so at the fair, they're having this panel with like that radio host. And Beth and Tim are in this panel and they're talking about Michael Myers and how he's long gone. But the host of this panel is like, hey, Tim, don't you live in his old house?
And this man says, he asks his girlfriend if she barks like a dog and wears crotchless panties.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I say, ick.
Gross.
You fucking incel.
Gross.
She's unfazed by it. I am not unfazed by it. I'm like, you dipshit. They were having a perfectly nice conversation about living in a haunted house.
Yeah, and then he brings that up. I had read, and here's a little trivia that I had read that I'll talk about early. Howard Stern was asked to be the DJ, but he was doing Private Parts, the movie Private Parts
That
at the same time.
explains a lot.
So
actually.
he didn't. So that probably explains why it was supposed to be like a shock.
So like, yeah, he lives in the Myers house, and Tim's like, yeah, it's a good house, and they want to go back to the house to do this show. And
Yeah, the
she's
radio
like,
DJ's like, hey, we're gonna come over now and do the rest of the show from your house.
And she's like, what about handing out candy to the kids? Like, we have to do that. And the DJ, Sims, says, relax your crack.
Relax your crack.
Excuse fucking me, sir. The audacity of this fucking... I would have throat punched this man.
Yeah. But apparently, like, Tim didn't know either that he lived in the Myers house.
No, because the dad didn't tell anybody.
Because when he gets back to the house, he's like, do we really live in the Myers old house? And she's like, yeah.
She knows the whole story.
And she tells him the whole story, and it spooks Tim, of course. And so, and he's like, stop it.
Stop it. Let's just make out a little bit.
So at the fair...
Just smooch me a
Just
little.
smoosh.
So they just start smooching.
So at the fair, Tommy's there, and he sees a kid in a costume, like, dancing and going, It's
raining
red.
This kid's an idiot.
I know, right?
This
He's
kid is an idiot.
It's warm. And
It's
so,
warm red. And it's just like a little angel costume or whatever it is. She's just covered in blood.
Yeah. And so Tommy looks up into the tree, and of course, it's the radio DJ.
Yeah, because he got murdered, because of course he did.
And the DJ's all tied up and dead in the tree, and the limb breaks and he
forgot
falls.
the joke, damn it, because when it said that, like, he's on the phone in the parking lot when Michael Myers kills him and stabs the shit out of him, and I say, good job, Mikey. Relax your crack, sir.
Yeah, when the DJ goes to leave, Michael is in his van or whatever, stabs him to death. And then,
How relaxed is your crack,
yeah.
DJ? But anyways, yeah, so there's blood and whatever, and
So DJ's dead. He's on the ground because he fell
everyone's
out of
screaming.
the tree.
And the way that parent just snatched that child up out of the blood.
yeah, it just takes off with him.
Scooped away.
And then Dr. Loomis shows up. They snatch the kid away, and Dr. Loomis shows up, and he's like, where's the baby?
Yep.
So, back at the Myers compound, Tim and Beth are doing it in Kara's bed.
They're fucking in Kara's bed.
It was Beth's idea.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm so bad. And then he refers back to the only when you wear crotchless panties and bark like a dog. Blech.
And then he gets up to take a shower, and
He calls out to her to bring him a towel.
and she's laying there naked, and she's like, "Yeah, give me a towel." And then a hand hands him a towel, and it's got the symbol.
It's got the
tattoo.
symbol tattoo.
And I'm like, "Oh, Mikey got tattooed
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess he went drinking one night and they dared
with
him
his druid buddies."
with his druid buddies.
and
so-
then he gets his throat slit.
Yeah, he gets out of the shower and he's immediately killed by Mikey Myers. And so
Kara calls her house because she sees the lights are on.
yeah,
And
Kara
Beth
realizes
answers, and she tells her, like, "Oh, I'm across the street, and you guys need to get out of the house." And she sees Michael come. She's like, "Mom, there's someone there. They're gonna kill you."
Yeah, and then so she gets slashed up with Kara watching. And then, but of course, Kara's watching that and not watching her son because Danny slips out again.
This kid is so slippery.
Yeah, and so she sees him out the window heading back to the house. So, okay. Kara runs over to the house and grabs a fireplace poker, which is, the international, like, I have
Weapon
no
of
weaponry.
choice. Yeah.
So I grab
Everyone
the
has a
fireplace.
fireplace.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and so she goes to follow Danny upstairs, and then she finds dead Beth in her bed, and then pulls back the covers.
Tim and Beth are both like snuggled together.
Yeah, he pulls back the covers, and there's her dead brother, too.
Yeah.
No!
And she just covers them back up.
covers them back up and is like, I'll deal with this later.
And she sees Danny in his room, and he's just sitting there.
Yeah, yeah. And he's just sitting there, and she's like, what are you doing? But then Mikey shows up.
She's like, run!
And so she tells him to run.
And Michael Myers is doing a slow walk.
He's doing his slow shuffle down the hallway, and she's trying to get away.
And then the dead
from him.
mom pops out of the ceiling.
Deborah pops out.
How does he set these things up?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's enough time, but he makes time to do it.
For being a mute with mental health problems, he's very smart.
That's what makes him so efficient.
He is an underdog.
He focuses and gets the job done.
He gets the job done. He's efficient. Mm-hmm. He takes his time.
Takes his time, but not too much time because
Not
this
too
all
much.
happens in the span of like
Well, he kills fast.
60
He walks
seconds.
slow because he saves so much time with
Right.
the killing that he can walk slow.
exactly.
So,
Just we could take a
managing
lesson from
time
Mike.
management.
So
yes.
anyway, so she
She like kind of hides and then she pushes Michael Myers down the stairs.
She whacks him and pushes him down the stairs. He seems to be unconscious at the bottom of the stairs, and that's when Danny shows back up. And, she's
then
like,
Loomis and Tommy get out of the Jeep. And
They show up across the
show
street.
up. And in the house, she has the poker on Michael Myers, but she turns her back on him, which is just a mistake.
yeah, she grabs
Never
Danny,
turn your back on the killer.
especially, and don't step over the killer either.
Stab him through the brain,
Like-
and then you can go about your business.
Yeah, so she picks up Danny, steps over him. He grabs her. Michael grabs her, and
Yes.
then
And twists, so now her ankle hurts.
Now her ankle hurts,
And now she hits him with the poker.
then
Like,
she hits
girl,
him. Yeah, and she gets away and runs outside.
in any situation, if I am like running for my life and someone seems they're unconscious, I'm probably gonna stab them just to make sure.
Right.
Like this, your mom fell out of the ceiling dead.
Yeah.
Your dad is dead. Your brother is dead. His
Yeah.
girlfriend is dead.
Right.
That's just one day.
Right.
He's done all this damage in one day.
Yeah.
Just stab him in the head.
Right.
What do you think, you're gonna go to jail? You're gonna go to jail because this guy murdered your whole family?
Yeah.
Like, come on, girl.
Yeah. And so,
He slow chases them outside, and then Loomis and Tommy are in his room, but there's no baby. Where's the baby?
where's the baby? Where's the baby? And then Kara and Danny get there and they pull him in the house and they're like, where's the baby? And Loomis is like, no one else knew about the baby except Dr. Wynn,
Dr. Wynn.
who is the man in black. And he's sitting in the living room
And little Tommy, not Tommy, Danny
Danny.
is sitting in his lap.
Danny's on his lap.
And Mrs. Blankenship's in on it too. And
Yeah, she's on it too.
and then
The cult shows up.
and Kara jumps out the window. I don't
Well,
think she was pushed.
The cult shows up and then she runs away and goes upstairs and then she finds Mrs. Blankenship in the other room with the baby and she's got a knife.
And
then-
I was like, does this cult work for Michael Myers?
yeah,
Like, what's
they really want him back. So the cult, when another cultist shows up, Kara jumps out of the second floor
She jumps out
window.
the second floor window, and then we cut to
and she's knocked out in the yard. It looks
We cut
like.
to Tommy and Loomis downstairs, and they're like, "Where's Kara?" Like,
Yeah, like what
the
happened?
next scene, we don't see what happened. She's
was-
just fucking
We
gone.
just see her land in the yard and then cut to Tommy and Loomis in the
And
empty
emptying
yard.
out the empty where the broken glass is.
Yeah, and they were like, where is she? I feel like I've been drugged. And Loomis is like, we have been.
we have been. Anyways,
We didn't see any of
how?
that.
When were you drugged?
When were you
When
drugged?
did that happen?
How did they drug? Where did they put you? We don't know.
Who knows? Anyways, cut to Kara, and she's wearing a dress now, and she's locked up in a room.
Yeah. She's locked up in a room. I'm assuming it's Smith's Grove.
It's at the sanitarium, and
And
Tommy
sh-
and Loomis go there because apparently Loomis knows everything.
Yeah, Loomis knows. Well, he says out in the yard when they can't find her, he was like, this is his game. I know where he wants to play it. And that's when they head off to Smith's Grove. So anyway, but Loomis...
Like, how did they know it would be available? How did they know that no one was at the sanitarium? How did they know that?
I don't... Details is not a
Did he, like,
Halloween
make-
strong suit.
Did he make a reservation for using that location?
Tara, just shut your pretty mouth and just go with it.
I like it when you get forceful with me.
So Loomis is there and he's got a gun. And he tells Tommy to stay put while he goes after Dr. Wen. But Tommy hears screams and doesn't stay put.
Of course not.
So, and of course, Kara in her room hears the same scream. And so,
And I'm like, Loomis has a gun. Why isn't he using it?
yeah, well, he went to go find Dr. Wen. And then he finds him, and then Dr. Wen starts doing, like, the Bond villain thing, like,
Telling him all the information.
this was my plan all
This
along.
baby is part of a new age.
Yeah, and Dr. Wynn tells them that, Michael Myers is pure evil, and we've been doing cult experiments, and we want you to join us, Dr.
Dr.
Loomis.
Wynn has been in several of these movies. We're supposed to believe that, like, he knew all this the whole time? Or is he, like...
He's part of it.
He just joined this cult? Like, he just found
Well,
out about
see, I'll
it?
talk
Like,
about-
I was fighting Michael Myers, but you guys won me over with your black hoods and your
Right.
fancy
I'll talk about.
pistols
There's some deleted
and your
scenes.
Stonehenge.
There were some deleted scenes that I found out about that I'll talk about here in a little bit, but we'll just put a pin in this. And
So a guy in a black robe hits Loomis over the head. Okay,
yeah, henchman
boom.
knocks him out.
He's
Loomis
knocked
is out. So
Tommy goes through the maximum security wing.
Yeah, he's
and
following the
nothing's
screens.
secure, and he's finds some nut job with black teeth. And
yeah, I guess it's a cultist or a patient, not clear, but she's been stabbed,
she's got like an open wound on her chest, and she's talking about Michael Myers.
and then she dies in front of him.
Tommy, Paul Rudd shudders and just says, "Shit."
Yeah.
But then he hears Kara, and he uses a fire extinguisher to try and open the door.
Yeah, he's breaking the door.
But then there's Michael.
Here comes shuffling Mike.
Just taking a sweet time.
Taking his sweet time, whistling a tune. And
I said, okay, now it's Paul Rudd versus Mike Myers. My money's on Mike Myers. But he grabs Kara, and then they run.
he
Because he
breaks
opens
the
it
door
last minute.
just in time and grabs her, and they run down the hallway behind some bars, and they close
Michael
it.
grabs her hair
But
through the
Michael
bars.
grabs her hair through the bars and is choking her. And then Tommy
and she
grabs...
screams, "Oh my God," in a very sexual way.
I know.
You can
like,
tell
I think she's into it.
this is a woman who likes getting her hair pulled.
She does. She does. Or maybe it started here.
For
we don't
a
know.
moment, I was transported to like 80s Skinamax days.
Yeah.
Like, sneakily watching the mediocre porn when I
Yeah.
was like 12.
Right. It's
And then
all
Tommy
scrambled.
shoots him and they run. So
Yeah, he gets... I couldn't tell what he grabbed off the wall, but it's a firearm of some kind.
apparently at the sanitarium, there is a wall of firearms.
There's a wall of weaponry.
That when the sanitarium closed down, they didn't think to take
Yeah.
weapons with them.
So he shoots him in the chest.
Or turn off the electricity, apparently.
No, yeah, exactly. But
Because we're supposed to believe it's abandoned.
it's supposed to be.
If
I
it's
don't know.
abandoned, would it not have? It would have no lights.
But then where did that old patient come from? That was I don't know.
Maybe they forgot about it. Did they forget?
She's just been walking around for the
This
last
is
20 years.
negligent. No wonder this kid didn't get any better. Goddamn.
So anyway, he shoots Mikey in the chest, but nobody keeps Michael Myers
Nope,
down.
he comes in all cool and collected
Yeah.
and walks right past him.
Right, and they run through Freddy Krueger's boiler room again, I guess,
Yep.
and back into the hospital where
And Michael grabs a machete off the medical tray.
Yeah,
I'm like, is this what they do surgery
I guess
with? Machetes?
And Dr. Wynn is like fraternizing with like a surgical team and some more cultists. And I guess they're about to do some experimental surgery.
I said, Kara and
on the
Tommy are
baby?
about to watch this whole medical staff get straight up gutted.
Yeah,
because,
yeah. And they have Danny too.
Like, I don't know what they thought was going to happen to them when you bring an actual murderer into the situation.
Right.
Like,
Whenever,
obviously, you are not in control of what he's doing.
Right. So, yeah.
And it's flashing a lot. I thought I was going to have, like, a stroke. It was,
right.
like, very, like...
I'm not epileptic, but
Yeah, but I might be.
This would make me.
It's like a rave. I expected that dunch, dunch, dunch music to start playing.
Right.
Like,
Right. And I guess they had grabbed Danny when they grabbed Kara.
yeah.
Because they have both the baby and Danny, and they're about to do surgery or rituals or something. I don't know.
They don't, because Michael Myers
So
walks in there and just straight up murders them all.
he comes in and murders everybody. So, except for Kara and Tommy,
He's
of
like,
course.
I'm the
But-
only surgeon here. This is where it would come in handy for him to, like, speak. Like, give me, like, a Freddy Krueger one-liner, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And
Then
so
Kara and Tommy, they grab the baby and they run
And
back
Danny.
through the red hallway full of steam, the Freddy Krueger hallway.
there's like one of the doctors with them.
Yeah,
guess.
this random dude, and I'm like, oh, honey, you're bait.
Yeah, they just got to run faster than you. So
I said some medical assholes behind him, and Michael Myers is hot on their trail. Sorry, extra, we can't help you now.
yeah, so kills the doctor. Still after the others.
He
they-
very slowly pushes this guy's head against the gate, and that kills him.
That's that.
Because when you have your head pushed against a gate, if you're not screaming because your hair's getting pulled, you're probably going to die.
Right.
So,
Right.
that's-
So they lock themselves in a room, and it's in a room that has like
Dead fetuses?
fetuses
In
all
different stages of, like...
different. I'm assuming at this point it's like failed experiments or something. I don't know. They don't explain it in this
Like-
cut.
Did Michael's niece just have a bunch of babies and like
Yeah, I don't know.
are they all related to him or they're just like random?
They don't ever explain why this is a room full of
And druid
fetuses.
symbols everywhere.
Yeah. And so
And Michael straight up rips that handle off the door.
Yeah, he
just
busts in.
Like, why has he ever had any problems getting through any doors?
Right.
Ever? If he could just rip it off.
Right.
What kind of strength does this guy have? Like, does he work out in the sanitarium? Like, what's his workout regimen? Because that grip is...
I don't know. I've never seen him work out, but he does.
he does. He's like
probably
6'4",
he's
like
all
jacked,
cut.
man. Like, don't let that like little outfit fool you. He takes that jumpsuit off. He's probably like... He's like Arnold. He's like,
Like, hey,
ripped.
hey, Mikey.
Yeah.
So anyway, Tommy confronts him with the baby and says, "You've won. Here's the
Tommy
baby."
calls him Mike, which he probably hates.
Probably hates that.
He's one of those guys, I'm Michael.
I'm Michael. You say
I'm
my
not
full
Mike.
name.
I'm not Mikey.
Yeah, and he says, "You've won. Here's the baby," but it's not the baby. It's a distraction. So Tommy,
It's 4 syringes full of green.
yeah, Tommy can distract him and pump him full of green liquid from a handful of needles, and Tommy is thrown off of
How
him.
does he know that isn't going to give him like more strength?
I know it could have been a super serum or something.
What if it's like what's that thing that you get when your heart stops and they have to
Isn't it adrenaline or something?
adrenaline? What
Yeah,
if they're shooting him full of adrenaline?
yeah, I'd make him even stronger.
Then he's gonna have strength and be just like hopped up.
Well, he throws Tommy off of him, and
Yep.
Kara starts beating the shiz out of him
With a pipe.
With a pipe. And Michael starts choking Kara out, but Danny
and she's
the
like
kid,
ripping at his mask when she's like passing out. And I
Yeah.
thought she was gonna like
unmask him.
unmask him.
Yeah, but
Danny's
Danny,
like, leave her alone.
leave her alone. So he does. He just drops her.
He's like, all right.
And so he turns around and he starts coming after Danny, who's holding the real baby. But Tommy pops in with another syringe.
Well, because he like goes to hide and like Michael's kind of like wedged into like this little crevice where like he's hidden with the baby, and that's when Tommy starts beating him. And then Loomis has a gun again, and where did he come from? Who knows?
Yeah.
And they get in the elevator.
Yeah, he
and
takes with Kara and the kids.
They all get in the elevator, just leave Tommy for
And they
himself.
leave Tommy, and Tommy's still beating Mikey's head in with the pipe.
I said, just fuck old Paul Rudd, I guess.
Yeah, screw this guy. And then he drops the pipe once Michael quits moving.
'Cause
and
he smashes
leaves
his
too.
face in.
Smashes his face in. And so, and then it cuts to, they're all in the car about to leave, and Dr. Loomis, they're like, get in the car, leave with us. And he's like,
I have business to attend.
I've got business to attend to. And then they leave, and then we cut to an empty Michael Myers mask laying on the ground, and then it's credits.
I said, of course Michael isn't there, because of course he isn't. But the
Because
mask
of course
is.
he is, but the
So-
mask is still there.
So now he's just like
Yeah.
barefaced
Yeah.
outside.
So we can all safely assume that there's going to be more at this point.
Which we can now assume because it's literally like 40 years later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And so, and usually I have a lot of trivia for these movies, but rather than trivia, I was like, there are so many holes in this. I got to see if there was, like, I got to read like a synopsis from someone else because maybe I missed something.
yeah.
And it's not that I missed anything. It's just that I didn't see the producer's cut. Now, in the Curse of Michael Myers, in the producer's cut, there's a deleted scene, which is it was in the Curse of Michael Myers. There's a deleted scene where the Man in Black, which we now know is Dr. Wynn, he kidnaps Jamie and then holds her captive for 6 years, eventually artificially inseminating her.
They kept saying 6 years
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah, eventually artificially inseminating her with Michael Myers' sperm to create the ultimate evil with his cult.
You know what I thought when I first started watching the movie, like before I figured out what was happening? Because like they had the baby and Lori like at the beginning. I thought that was like a flashback, and then what's her face and her Kara and her son. I thought that was like years
I
later.
was thinking that
That's what
too.
I thought at first, and then the fucking baby was there, and I was like, well, I guess not then. Like,
Right. And
But that's what I thought it was.
That's what I thought
'Cause
at
they kept
first
saying
too.
6 years, and I was like, all right, that kid looks about 6. It's
Yeah,
fine,
that's
you
what
know?
I thought too, because I think he is 6 years old. They said they
Yeah.
even mentioned that he's 6 years old or something like that. But anyway, so they also in these cutscenes apparently implied more heavily that they had been using Mikey's DNA to create other failed babies.
So that's what the fetuses
So
were.
that's why we saw the pickled fetuses earlier. And
Are they
so-
sweet or dill?
A little bit of both. A little bit of bread and butter in there.
Bread and butter fetus.
Also, I guess in the director's cut, they may or may not have been the cult who put the thorn curse on Michael as a child. But that was cut out of the theatrical release, from what I understand. Also, there's a deleted scene in which Jamie is shot and killed by Dr. Wynn or something. I don't know. But she's killed in this movie. So, by Michael Myers. Like, I haven't seen. I'm going to have to now probably try to find the producer's cut and see, because I don't think they knew for sure where this movie was going.
I don't think it's a good movie if you have to watch several cuts of it to make it make sense.
You know, because I had to have Wikipedia explain this to me. So
I'm gonna say it's a fail. I'm gonna say it's not.
It's a fail. It's a fail. And the theatrical cut was convoluted. So many holes in it. Like, even if
it was like after Halloween 3, they were like, well, fuck. Now what are we going to do? Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't want to come back. So, like, what are we going to
do? She has a daughter. And we're going to kill her in 3 movies. Or 2 movies
But
later.
then forget that you knew any of that. Because later, 20 years down the road, we're going to bring everybody back.
Yeah. So everybody's going to be back. So you don't need to know any of this. And this is why it wasn't ever my story.
No, because say what you will about Freddy Krueger and all the plot holes in those movies, they made sense. He was imaginary in someone's dream. He killed people.
Yeah, they were still cohesive and still had rules to follow and all that. It's just another example of why these franchises fizzle out for me.
Well, it's why you shouldn't do like 15 of a movie.
Yeah.
No one needs to
Exactly.
How many times can he possibly get out of the sanitarium and kill people?
Exactly.
Why do we keep bringing back the sanitarium? Why can't we we can't put him in jail?
Right. Like, why can't he be killed? He's not a supernatural being.
He's not. He's a human.
But
I guess if he has like evil
curses and tendencies and and I mean, like in Halloween 4, his spirit is able to possess Jamie, and just the rules are all over the place.
The spirit of a mentally disabled 8-year-old child? Like, what are we talking about here?
I don't know. They don't make sense. So anyway, that's...
In real life, this kid would have gotten therapy and he would probably be fine.
Yeah, like, medication.
Continued therapy.
Yeah.
Work with a social worker.
Whatever.
It's a real bummer.
Sorry, Michael Myers. The system has failed you.
Welcome back to the B-list, you guys.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our episode for today, where I still suggest you go watch this movie because it's a good time sometimes.
Courtney and I have discussed that we might do a series on like horror movies starring young, really famous actors.
Yeah, so this is the first, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd is this one, so look forward to that, because we're going to look and see what we can find. So, maybe like a Jennifer Aniston, maybe like we'll find
Leo DiCaprio, maybe. Well, they've all been in some. So
they've all been in some stinkers.
We'll see you next week or in a couple of weeks here, and with a new one and with a new A-list actor that really blew it with their first movie.
Really just had to get paid.
So anyway, thanks for joining us.
And we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time. Love ya.